So is Granite Mountain still in there?
Well, they're in a safety. Black.
Granite Mountain operations underground. Air Granite Mountain 7, how do you copy me?
Yeah, they are. Granite Mountain.
I hear saws running, that's not good.
That one there in safety.
Operation. Air Granite Mountain 7!
This ain't good, though.
He's screaming.
Okay, Granite Mountain 7 sounds like they got some trouble. Okay, I'm here with Granite Mountain Hotshots. Our escape route has been cut off. We are preparing a deployment site, and we are burning out around ourselves in the brush. And I'll give you a call when we are under the shelters.
Wildfires are a particularly terrifying natural disaster. Not only because most are started by people being careless, but because you can see the imminent destruction heading directly for you. Areas miles away from the fire can become blanketed with ash, choked out with smoke. Wildfires tend to lack the suddenness of an earthquake or a tornado. In 2013, there was a wildfire in the US state of Arizona that ended up becoming the deadliest wildfire in American history. This is the story of the Yarnell Hill Fire and of the 19 Granite Mountain Hotshots that lost their lives in the inferno. On Friday, June 28th of 2013, there was a thunderstorm in Arizona. Lightning had struck the ground and started a fire. As you might imagine, Arizona is notoriously dry, so it's no surprise that some brush was ignited by the lightning strike. Starting out as a routine brush fire, the situation evolved into something more serious. By Saturday, June 29th, around 150 acres had burned, and the firefighters were struggling to contain the blaze. Backup was called in for assistance. Air crews and hotshot crews were mobilized. According to the US Department of Agriculture, hotshot crews get that name because they work in the hottest and often most dangerous parts of wildfires. One of these crews was the Granite Mountain Hotshots. Little did they know, this would be their last call. On the 30th of June 2013, around 8 a.m., the Granite Mountain Hotshot crew began their hike up to the southeast corner of the fire in order to start building a fire line. This is a line that helps to keep the fire from spreading by cutting out vegetation and trees in a large line so the fire doesn't really have anything to burn when it hits that line. Things were seemingly going alright at first. The winds were pushing the fire north, away from the Granite Mountain Hotshot crew. However, at 3:52 p.m., things started to change. The wind shifted 180 degrees, and the Granite Mountain Hotshot lookout was forced to abandon his post. The inferno was now heading right for the Granite Mountain crew. The crew tried to take refuge in a canyon where they lost sight of the fire. They did have a safe fallback position at a nearby ranch in the event that things went completely to shit, but as you heard in that initial audio clip, their escape route was cut off. As the fire raged out of control, the firefighters in the nearby town of Yarnell were forced to abandon their position as well as evacuate the residents. At 4:22 p.m., the fire had reached the edge of the canyon that the Granite Mountain Hotshots were falling back into. At this point, things were looking bad. The fire was closing in, their exit route was cut off, and the men made their last stand against the flames. At 4:39 p.m., the men tried to contact air crews to get some relief, but it didn't come in time. And at 4:41, the call comes in that the men were getting into their portable fire shelters. This was the last call the men would ever make. The men climbed into their fire shelters, but the sustained 2,000 degree temperatures that the fire had generated made the fire shelters kinda useless. Once the flames had passed and calm had returned, 19 of the 20 Granite Mountain Hotshots lay dead in the canyon. The sole survivor was the lookout that had to abandon his post. By July 10th, the fire was 100% contained and 8,400 acres had been burned. The sad task of firefighters recovering their fellow comrades had begun. What started out as a routine brush fire ended up being the deadliest day for firefighters since 9/11. The 19 men who died were Eric Marsh, Jesse Steed, Clayton Whitted, Robert Caldwell, Travis Carter, Travis Turbyfill, Chris McKenzie, Andrew Ashcraft, Joe Thurston, Wade Parker, Anthony Rose, Garrett Sepiger, Scott Norris, Dustin DeFord, William Wernicke, Kevin Woyek, John Person, Grant McKee, and Scott Misner. There's a memorial hike that takes you from where these men started out and ends in the area where they lost their lives. Hopefully, disasters like this are avoided in the future, but sadly, the nature of firefighting is that it's notoriously dangerous. Thank you all for listening, and I will see you guys next time.